Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the wrap-up. Nick Buckler, Dan Myers. Dan, we had some time off to think about what we've done. The FCC wouldn't let us be, or let me be me, so let me see. They tried to shut us down on Shelby TV, but it felt so empty without me. That's right, folks. We're back and at it for another edition of the wrap-up, Dan. And there was a lot happening while we were away. We're going to kick it off into gear with some Tigers baseball. That's right. You already know what it is. It's that time. The trade deadline is happening literally right now. We'll try our best to keep up with it. Obviously, we're not going to be able to be here at the 4 o'clock deadline, but when it happens, we'll fill you in next week. You can follow us on Wrapping It. That's what we do here. We wrap it up.
There you go.
Wrap up. 4.5 games out. You're sitting in the American League Central, Dan, and you are coming off of 6 straight wins in 6 games that are really tough on the schedule, and you're thinking, okay, this is a big stretch right before, and maybe does it give the fans and the organization maybe false hope? Should they be buying really in this situation, or should they stand pat? Selling, to me, I'm scribbling it out. Scribbled out some other stuff too. Should not happen. Don't sell at all, because you're still in it, and who cares? Worst case scenario, you stand pat, you miss the playoffs, big deal. No one expected you to get there. Most of us. But buying, to me, it's got to be the right price. I've heard today rumors of Jeremy Hellickson from Philly. I think that's an awful trade. They'd probably be asking for a piece like Matt Boyd or Jose Jimenez down in who was just promoted to AAA this week after he's been virtually unhittable in that 9th inning in Erie and Class A Lakeland as well as West Michigan. But he's now in AAA, and he could be a piece that could move today as well. However, do they buy? Do they sell? Do they stand pat? I mean, what do you think?
Well, traditionally we're used to them always waiting for the last minute to pull something out of their hats and get in the postseason. I think Tigers fans are used to this, and I agree with you as far as not so much selling. If we can pick something up for a decent value, that's fine. But especially after losing someone like Boyd after the outing he had a couple days ago, we'll just if we get the right deal, that's great. But I can't see them going out of their way to make something official or some groundbreaking trade. It's not going to happen. But I've been wrong before, so why not?
That's right. And guess who's always right? This guy. But anyways, back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. We got to think something here, and that is, other than Eminem lyrics that have been spit freely on this edition of the Wrap Up, you got to think, okay, Cleveland, look at what they've done. They've acquired Andrew Miller for a hefty price. The Tigers actually inquired Sunday about Andrew Miller, per John Keating of Fox Sports Detroit, saying that, did you hear what the Yankees wanted for Miller?
It's pretty ridiculous.
They need to get a grip. All right, Yankees, you haven't been competitive realistically since the year 2000 when you last won the World Series, and you're asking for a rental reliever, in which the Tigers already had. He was a starting pitcher here in Detroit. Okay, big whoop. You're the Yankees, all right? Big deal. You're America's team. You're the Yankees. Derek Jeter. Gone. Can you even name 5 guys in the starting lineup right now? Do they have Johnny Damon anymore? Is A-Rod play still?
Right.
No? Oh, okay. You can't.
Is that appeal still there? Do they still have that curve?
No.
No.
The Yankees are all this talk. They're selling. They're selling their pieces for the first time in eons, light years, folks. And let me tell you one thing about the Yankees. I almost called them an old American pastime, the D-Yankees, so to speak. Didi Gregorius, there's one that you can name. You might not be able to name him. They had Aroldis Chapman. He went to the Cubs. Now they have, Betances now? Oh, okay. Good. He's
seen
great.
a lot of those jerseys.
CC Sabathia, huh?
Yeah.
That guy's trash. Jeter's gone. Matsui's gone. Bernie Williams has been gone since, before Bernie Sanders was alive, and we all know the Bernie difference. The Bernie. What's that dance? How's that go?
Are we doing it right now? Or
if you're going to show me how to do it.
All right, I guess we'll show you the Bernie.
Oh, yeah.
That just...
Gyre, baby. Right in place. That was probably the worst rendition you'll see in eons,
There's
got to
be music for it.
We're Bernieing. We're senile. We're old. We're Bernie Sanders here on the wrap-up. Just kidding. Back to the Yankees. Another thing no one cares about. They asked, forget this, Andrew Miller, 8th inning pitcher. Mind you, he's a good piece. The Indians got better by having him. But to me, giving away the farm for a reliever is just dumb. They asked for Michael Fulmer, Matt Boyd, and Jose Jimenez.
Yeah, no thanks.
I can't get a grip, people. All right. Is what's his nut still the GM there? I don't even know who.
I don't know.
I don't know who I'm thinking of, but it's that old senile guy. If so, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Senility, if that's a word, is happening in New York, in the Bronx, new Yankee Stadium. Blow it off the map, people. They're a joke.
I feel
The
like
Mets
they
have
really,
taken over.
Yeah.
Mets. Mets. Noah Syndergaard, Jacob deGrom, Bartolo Colon. These guys are for real. The Mets.
Yeah. I really
The
think
Big
they
Apple.
lost their
The apple
curb
comes
appeal.
up when Mike Piazza used to hit a home run. By the way, just was announced he's in the Hall of Fame. Congrats, Mike.
Yeah.
My first
Well
ever
deserved.
figurine was Mike Piazza with the Dodgers. Then he went to the METS, Mets. Not the Jets, the Mets. That's right. New Jersey Nets? No, they're Brooklyn now.
Yeah.
You know what else is Brooklyn? The Yankees, the Bronx, the wherever they're from. Point of the story is the Yankees are a train wreck.
Mm-hmm.
They should just fold. I wonder what the bandwagon fans would do. What would you guys do out there, bandwagon?
Or they
What
jumped
team
aboard
would
the Mets
you-
train.
No,
No, you don't think
they'd
so?
hop aboard the Cubs or the Giants or the Dodgers. They wouldn't hop on Cleveland because, let's be honest, the mistake by the lake doesn't even have a bandwagon. Cleveland, everything about them is just a disaster. The city, the state, it's just a joke.
Yeah.
The Indians will miss the playoffs, folks. And you heard it from Mr. Anti-Tiger himself, me. The Tigers will take the American League Central. You heard it here on the wrap-up first. You heard it. Tigers are winning the Central without making a move at the trade deadline.
Ooh.
They got just Jordan Zimmerman. See, I'm frazzled. I don't even know his name. Jordan Zimmerman coming back soon. J.D. Martinez is rehabbing in Toledo right now. And then you've got Daniel Norris coming back as well. Oblique injuries are hard to come back from. Tigers will win the Central. Dan Myers.
It'd be the perfect storm for it all to come together. These past 6 games, they definitely showed potential and what they are capable of doing. The last game against Houston was huge, and that was probably a big builder. I guess the whole rock paper scissors game with the empty water bottle.
Best 2 out of 3.
No, man, that would hurt.
Best 2 out of 3.
We're not getting their contracts.
Winner. Okay, get this. Ready, folks? We're about to do some rock, paper, scissors. Me, Dan Myers, right here. If I win, you guys get free wrap-up merchandise.
There you go.
That's right. If anyone wants to sponsor this giveaway, it's right here. If Dan wins, well, he'll be signing autographs at the Senior Center tonight. So 2 out of 3.
From
Let's
4 to
do it. This is
4:15.
fun. This is fun, people. This is fun. We're making America great on the wrap-up.
Again.
We're not going to get political here, but
All right.
we're making it great. Shelby
on
Township.
3 or
on
4?
3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, up 1-0. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Boom! It's a clean sweep for you, boy. That's right, Dan. You will be at the Senior Center signing autographs. Actually, that was if you won, but we're sending them anyways because that's what the people want.
Just come say hi.
You know what else they want? They want these Tigers in the playoffs. That's why they watch me on TV. And let me tell you something. The offense is back. Miguel Cabrera, he's hitting the ball out of the yard.
Yeah.
He's back, all right? I was ragging him a couple weeks ago saying for his money, he should be the greatest hitter of all time. I'm not saying he is, but he's certainly shown light. After the end of that White Sox series 2 weekends ago where he really was struggling, you could just tell. He went 1 for 15 at one point. The first game in that Boston series, he was hitting the ball out of the yard. Mind you, it's Fenway Park, but who cares? It's good for the confidence. He's back. He did it again on Sunday, and then he continued throughout the week. Or that was Wednesday. I don't even know what day it is. And then he continued through the Houston series. He's raking. They put up 8 runs, 13 runs, and 11 runs in that series. I mean, again, they put up 6 runs in the first inning against Dallas Keuchel,
Yeah.
the reigning Cy Young Award winner. Knocked out of the game in the second. All right. Don't mind if I do. McCannon hit a grand slam. He's perked up, up to a lofty 212. But I'm not saying that as sarcasm because I like McCann. I root for him. But our catchers need to pick it up hitting. If you can hit 250, 260, I mean, these two, Salty and McCann, are throwing runners out at an amazing clip. James McCann has the highest thrown out percentage in the American League. Saltalamacchia is 4th. They're throwing out at combined 59% of runners trying to steal. That's unheard of. That's off the charts. Salty's like 52%. McCann's up near 70. 70!
Yeah, that's
Don't
huge.
run. You can run like you stole something all you want. But guess what? Guess who's policing those base paths?
Yeah.
The McCannon. You're out, baby. You're out.
Well, now that the offense has showed up, though, How far do they go in the postseason? Should they make it?
All right.
You have a real issue there to deal with, and you can hit
The
all the runs you
bullpen
want. But
is just awful. K-Rod has been good. Mark Lowe in non-pressure situations. Look out, ERA down to 9.5. Look out. I don't know. It really depends. This could be a team that goes to the World Series. You know why? Because they don't have any business being there.
yeah,
And that happens all the time. Look at 06. The Tigers were the team to beat. They did make it, but then they got demolished. Mollywopped, as Terry Foster would say. Blown off the face of the earth because they had that layoff again in 2013. Or was it 12? One of those 2 years. Not sure. Bad pregame planning here by me, but who cares? Because they lost. They were swept by the Giants. Doug Fister got hit in the head with a line drive. I don't know why I'm saying everything like this. It happened. They got swept. Both World Series in my lifetime the Tigers have been to, they are a combined 1-8. 1-8, Dan.
well, let's change it this year, but
This is the year. We're all behind our baseball team. Go get 'em. Let's go, Tiggs. Let's do it.
Fire it up.
I mean, I don't know. The offense is back. Mike Pelfrey shut out whoever they played, the Astros, in 5 innings, 4 hits. Baby steps. Baby steps, Pelf Daddy. Baby steps. Sanchez is out of the rotation. That's a step in the right
That's
direction. I mean, it's all huge, Dan. I don't know what you got to say, but, I mean, you did ask a question of how far they're going to go. I don't think they win a series in the playoffs.
No.
But if they get there, that's huge. Because I didn't give them a chance. A lot of people didn't give them a chance. The Slaps said they're winning the World Series. Hopefully they put money down in Vegas, but we don't do that on this show. We're straight-laced at these parts of town. Get at us. If you want to make a rock, paper, scissors bet, we're here. Actually, not we, me. 2-0, baby. You already know what it is, right? We're making moves.
So should they?
We're not staying still here, Dan.
No, we got to keep moving. Does it help or hurt them if they go to the postseason?
Baseball, to me, I don't think it makes a difference.
different.
It's not like, the football where the draft is crazy different. Who watches the MLB draft? Anyone?
Wait, there is
Bueller? Bueller? No, nobody. Nobody does it better. It doesn't happen. All right? It doesn't make a big deal to me.
That makes sense.
First round picks don't make it. 17th round picks do. It doesn't matter. If they make it, hooray. If they don't, I mean, maybe for Brad Ausmus's sake, it might be bad because he's going to still be with the team if he somehow can right the ship here in Detroit. But I don't know. Who knows? To me, I say go for it.
Why not? Yeah, it'll help them out if they do definitely make the postseason. We'll definitely see a lot more of Brad Ausmus, your buddy. So.
You know what? We'll be right back.
If ever there's a reason to be swept up in the season of the falling days, and if the days grew shorter and the darkness drew its order from the autumn gray, I'd rather sit this out and slip the day away instead. My weary eyes a bit too slow and deep. I'd rather sit this out and sleep the day away instead, to worry about the emptiness that comes.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that time away. We certainly did. And now we prepped for a little wing ding action. Detroit Red Wings, baby. Off season. Guess what? Preseason starts in about 7 weeks. We got the World Cup of Hockey coming up at the beginning of September. It's going to be what the kids are calling lit, fam. It's going to be off the charts. Red Wings have 8 participants in the World Cup of Hockey that will take place in Toronto in the second week of September. But do the Wings make a move is the question to bolster that D-line. They just inked Danny DeKeyser to avoid arbitration to a 6-year, $30 million deal. That seems very steep, Dan. You're looking at me. I'm going to let you talk now. What do you think of the deal?
A little excessive. Actually,
Just
lot of
a little,
excessive.
huh?
Yeah.
Eh?
Pretty
Oh,
excessive.
gee,
I
oh,
was
eh?
very shocked. I was really shocked that they pulled that type of money for him. Really,
Is that what the kids are calling Matchbox 20 money?
that might be it. I think I think you're right with that one. You and I can, very vaguely remember you and I going off on him throughout the season last year.
Back.
And we definitely weren't too happy with him. Kind of wish they would have pulled out some different numbers. If we were gonna keep him, that's great, but not for that longevity, not for that amount. I think Peter Mrazek's a little more important, and they should have invested a little more in him as opposed to Danny DeKeyser. But with that being said,
Let's talk about Peter Mrazek. He also avoided arbitration just hours before both parties were set to go to Toronto for the arbitration hearing. Peter Mrazek initially submitted, because he isn't restricted free agent, he submitted a offer sheet for 2 years, $10 million, and he was not budging. To me, that's high. You're still quite unproven. Jimmy Howard's already making $5.25. That's high. The Red Wings countered with $2.17 million. To me, that's spitting in your face. And if I were Peter, I'd be upset. And he was not budging, so he's like, we're going to arbitration for this. I'm not taking that 2.17. Mind you, Detroit, need a goalie. I'll do it for 1.17. Anyways, now that that's out there for Kenny to ponder, Peter Mrazek they did reach a deal. 2 years, $8 million, 4 years average salary, base salary. No bonuses in this deal, nothing guaranteed. So that's good. And even better, he will still be a restricted free agent at the end of this 2-year contract. Save the Red Wings some cash.
yeah.
And to me, that means you're going to lock him up a little bit longer if he's still a restricted free agent, because then you can work out a long-term deal at the end of that.
Now, do you think that makes him happy at the end of this day? I mean, you were saying, that would kind of really rattle me.
That would tick me off if it's me saying, this is, I just had a career year, and you're going to give me almost less than half of what I want.
Yeah.
To me, he was coming off high. If he would have started at maybe 4.25, be a little different, but 5 is high. I'd be a little ticked, and I'm hoping that makes him want to prove himself out on the ice a little bit better. Maybe get 7-8 shutouts this year, lower that goals against to closer to 2, which he was still at great numbers. Maybe just put together more of a full year and really run away from the position from Jimmy Howard, because I still think they're going to be platooning a little more than they should be. But giving Peter $4 million a year, you're now paying $9.25 for 2 goaltenders. A move has got to be made here. I don't think you can wait till the expansion draft next year for the Las Vegas Black Knights to take one of these goalies off your hands. A move has to be made. You need to bolster that D. Dan, I have too many forwards. All right, now touching back on Danny DeKeyser, it seems a little high. They gave him top pair D money, and I don't think he's top paired. He's a defenseman, but he's only scored 13 goals in 3 seasons, 71 points in 200 games. On the point, not bad. He didn't really play much on the power play this past year, and he was on the PK a lot, but $5 million a year for a 3-4 D-man is a little rough. But, however, they still have too many forwards. You got to make a move. You got a lot of big contracts. You still got guys like Mantha and Athanasiou and Tangradi, and they just signed Steve Ott. Guys who are going to be trying to crack this lineup, Jurko Pulkkinen. So just briefly before we came back from break, I jotted down what I think, very briefly, what the lines could look like with the team we have right now. Forwards, I have first line. I have Larkin, Nyquist, and Abdelkader. Then I have Franz Nielsen, Henrik Zetterberg, and Thomas Tatar. Riley Sheahan, Thomas Vanek, Darren Helm, Luke Glendening, Drew Miller, and Andreas Athanasiou, which leaves Thomas Jurko and Steve Ott on the outside looking in. Timo Pulkkinen obviously won't be ready to come back due to that shoulder surgery, and when he comes back, that just adds another name to throw into the mix, not to mention Mantha, what's going to happen with him. Tangradi, Furk, or however you pronounce his name, whatever, who cares. These guys are vying for spots in the NHL, and they just have a surplus. And now looking to the projected D pairings, this is where it gets spotty. Spotty showers with an isolated chance of a T-storm, folks. You got Mike Green and Nick Kronwall. You have Danny DeKeyser and Jonathan Ericsson. And then you have Brendan Smith and Alexei Marchenko with Xavier Ouellet as the guy on the outside looking in. Something's got to be done here. That D-core is just poor.
Yeah.
I think Green's going to have a bounce-back year. I think you're starting to move the puck because you need a puck-moving D-man. And really, Brendan Smith and Mike Green are the two guys that move the puck, and Brendan Smith is a crapshoot. You don't know what's going to happen, Dan, and I think they got to make a move. You got to give away a Gus or a Tots, and maybe a young guy like a Mantha, and maybe make a run at Shattenkirk, make a run at Cam Fowler. I mean, you got to make a splash and really make these fans excited. Because to be honest, Nielsen and Vanek aren't making these guys excited. Not to mention the Darren Helm contract.
Right, absolutely. And all right, now I got a scenario for you. Is Steve Ott going to be the new Jordan Tutu, or do you go Scotty and take him from forward to D-man and have him pressure those forwards that come into your zone?
You don't pull a Scotty, not in today's NHL.
Yeah.
Our D is pretty bad as it is. I don't think Steve Ott's the strongest skater. He's definitely a hustler. He's got more skill than you think, folks. He really does. However, I think he's a bottom 6 guy. He's not even making $1 million, so I think it's a low risk, high reward. Let's be honest, Abdelkader can't get his face bashed in sticking up for these guys that much.
Yeah.
You need Ott to go out after a guy like Larkin gets lit up, a guy like Athanasiou gets lit up. Your stars get lit up. You respond and you put Steve Ott, normally number 9, not sure what he's going to wear this year, maybe 29. You got to put this guy out there to answer the bell. I think he should make the lineup. I'm not sure who you'd sit out of that, because you got to make a move. You have a surplus of forwards. You got to make a move because you need Steve Ott in that lineup. Mm-hmm. You need him down on that 3rd or 4th line, just crushing skulls.
Yeah, and that's going to be huge during the playoffs. Especially these past couple of years, just getting pushed around. When you play big teams, well, what's left a shell of Chicago, and teams that just like to push you around like that, that's to have him at least on the bench, not playing so many minutes, but he's there. You have the option to go to him.
His presence is going to make guys think when they're going into the corner or when they're about to light up Larkin. Their presence is going to make them think. Yeah. Abdelkader's presence isn't going to be like, oh, Abby might be coming after me if I hit this guy right now. It doesn't happen like that. They're like, oh, that creature is going to be trying to fight me. No. Steve Ott has a reputation, and players fear him.
Yeah. He's
a dirty guy. He's a bad man.
But does he have the reputation of a Red Wings Bertuzzi or old school Bertuzzi?
Definitely
it feels like when Bert
old
came
school.
here, it was
he
very mellow.
But mind you, that was after his altercation with Steve Moore. He cried on TV. He paid Moore's family for years. Definitely calm. I felt like the risk was too high for Bertuzzi to be a bad dude.
Yeah.
Did he look sweet and did he look bad? Oh, you bet. But he was definitely mellowed out by the time he was a Red Wing. To me, Steve Ott doesn't have any demons. He is a demon. And I think you need him in the lineup. Plain and simple, that's it.
Yeah, that was huge. That was probably by far the most, the trade I got most excited for was
doubt.
With that. And it was, like you said, little risk, big reward,
Same
possible
with Vanek,
payoff.
though, by the way. I watched a Vanek highlight video about a week ago. And it got me excited. Mind you, I think a change of scenery was huge for him. He was obviously bought out from his hometown team in Minnesota. In Buffalo, he was great. This guy is one of the premier snipers in the league. Too much hype, I think, surrounding him. Coming down here, $3 million on a 1-year deal. Kenny Holland, brilliant signing, I think. Because if he doesn't pan out, big deal. You're not giving this guy Franz Nielsen money. That is a high-risk, low-reward type. The guy's only scored 20 goals twice in his career. Vanek, to me, change of scenery, put him on that second line, surround him with speedsters. I think it'll be good. We're going to move on now to a little game of golf. Final major of the season happened this past week. Jimmy Walker picks up his first career major, shooting 14 under par to defeat Jason Day, who eagled the 72nd hole of the PGA Championship to even have a prayer, and it was an impressive one indeed. Jason Day was the defending champ. He was 13 under. Very exciting finish in this one. Jimmy Walker picking up his first major just 2 short weeks after Henrik Stenson picked up his first career major and first for the country of Sweden. They did have to move up the PGA Championship due to the Olympic Games. Now, golf is an Olympic sport for the first time in many, many moons at the Rio Games that kick off the end of this week, next week. And PGA Championship now in the bag. FedEx Cup now going to be pushed back a little later now to the 2-week layoff with the Olympic Games. Dan, Olympic golf, what do you think?
I didn't see too much of the golf tournament myself, but watching Rory struggle, I don't know if you saw any of that.
He missed the cut.
He missed the cut.
And so did Dustin Johnson, by the way.
Yes.
Only 2 players in the whole field had worse scores than Dustin Johnson, so that's big. Dustin Johnson had made the most consecutive major cuts up until this missed cut right here. Active streak, by the way.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was like, what? It's just almost a given that those two guys would be playing, but it obviously wasn't happening. You could just see any of the bad luck that the poor guy had. But they got 2 weeks off to sort of find their game, and hopefully they don't Tiger Woods out.
Oh, too soon, Dan.
Well, we were going too long without talking about
yeah,
Tiger.
True.
Right?
Tiger, he's out for the year, and I'm rooting for Tiger to come back at full swing. It would be great to see. Spieth hasn't been much since his meltdown in number 12 at Augusta back in April. Sorry, Jordan. But good to see Jimmy Walker get the win. Good to see golf in the Olympics. Hopefully the Zika bug doesn't strike the golf course or any area, third world country that gets the Olympics. We won't touch about that right now. But in the meantime, we gotta hit the hay. Dan's got a signing at the Senior Center to get to after his impressive loss to me in rock, paper, scissors. Dan Myers, Nick Buckler, rock, paper, scissors. See ya.